Hello and welcome to the second annual Rum Revival Awards. My name is Arminder and I'm your host for the evening. This is my end of year video and award show where I look back and celebrate all the outstanding rum releases of 2024. Now, I have 11 different categories of awards to give out, and for each one, we're going to share my nominees and then announce a winner. But first, let's talk about this year. A lot of notable things to come out of this year. We saw a lot of well-known brands add new rums to their core range. That includes Worthy Park with their Select, Overproof and Silver, Hamden Estate with their Pagos and HLCF Classic, Rum JM with their Atelier releases with Jardin Frite, the Epis Creoles, and the Fumé Volcanique. And another thing that I thought was notable was that we had a big brand, Mount Gay, release a high-proof version of one of their core releases with the release of the Eclipse Navy Strength. Now, to be honest, I never thought in a million years that we'd get something like that from a bigger brand, but now I want all the big brands to do something like that. Appleton and Eldorado, I'm looking at you. 2025, we want high-proof versions of your 12-year-old expressions, please and thank you. We also got rums from countries or regions that we either barely or never get new rums from. Ghana, Sicily, Paraguay, Madeira, hell, even exotic Canada got up in the mix. We even got a rum from Amsterdam made from cane juice from Vietnam. What a time to be alive. Now, a big part of getting all these rums from those regions was the continued work of independent bottlers who are putting out some great new rum releases. And probably the most notable independent bottler release this year was the Holmes Key Infinity. It was truly a singular snapshot of long gone rums and distilleries. A blend of rums from 7 countries, 13 distilleries, 5 of which are defunct, with the youngest rum being 20 years old and the oldest being 47. And all that for an easy breezy $1,500. Remember when you thought $500 for Appleton Legend was too much? We even saw at least 2 new independent bottlers get up in the mix, Roaming Road Spirits and Great Shearwater Rum. On top of that, we saw OG UK bottler Bristol Spirits finally get imported into the US, and all that is great, right? More bottlers means more bottles, means more options for the consumer. And I really think between what the producers are doing and what the bottlers are doing, that the future of rum is looking pretty damn exciting, and I'm very much looking forward to what 2025 has in store. That being said, we're here to talk about and celebrate the rums of 2024. All right, so we're gonna give out some awards, but real quickly, before we do, I wanna lay out some ground rules. First and foremost, the nominees for all the categories were only rums that were released in 2024 in the US, and I had to have tried them. And that last one is important because I am just one person with limited time, limited budget, and limited liver space. So, I haven't had a chance to try everything, which is okay because that brings me to my next point, which is probably the most important point, which is to acknowledge that my nominees and the winners aren't objective bests because, such a thing doesn't really exist, but rather these are all my own personal subjective favorites. Yeah, this is like a whole award show and whatnot, but at the end of the day, this is just one person sharing the things that they really enjoyed with you. And that's it. And what I might rave about, you might hate. So, keep that in mind. Now, because this is an award ceremony, well, you kind of need some people to give out some awards. It wouldn't be all that fun if it was just me listing all the nominees and announcing all the winners. You'd get tired of this. So, we need some presenters. And I've enlisted the help of some friends, other folks here on YouTube that create great rum-related content. Some of them focus just on rum, others on rum and all sorts of other spirits. Some of them focus maybe more on the cocktail side of things instead of like drinking rum neat, but this lineup covers it all. These are all folks that I greatly admire and whose videos are absolutely fantastic. And if you aren't already, you should totally check out their channels and give them a follow. Now, they're each singular and unique to themselves. And honestly, I am so blown away that they agree to be a part of all this. Now, for each category, before announcing my nominees and then the winner, I've asked the presenters to share with you a personal rum highlight from the year. Could be an amazing rum that they had, could be an amazing rum cocktail that they tried at a bar or one they made themselves, or maybe it was a fantastic rum-related trip that they took. Whatever it is, I've asked them to share that with you. All right, so let's finally get on to the first award, and let's celebrate excellence in design. And I'm talking about the labels and physical bottles that really impressed me this year. While the rum inside is probably the most important thing, I think a good-looking label and or bottle plays a huge part in how we perceive and think of rums, so we're honoring that with this award. So our first presenters for the evening are the podcast hosts with the most, the voices of a rum generation. Please welcome John and Will from the Rumcast.
Hey there, Rum Universe. Really happy to be here. I think it's truly an honor to be here on Arminder's channel now, right, Will?
I would certainly agree. Very much an honor to be here for the first time. And, John, when I think back on this year in rum and any standout rum memories that we had together, I think you'll agree with me that the biggest standout memory was actually having Arminder on our podcast. I was about to say channel. I guess he was on our channel too, but he came on our show for the first time. We had a guest on our annual fantasy rum draft, a Rumcast tradition. Now for the third year in a row, we thought, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we spiced it up a little, mixed it up, threw in a guest? We always just do this, me and John. Maybe people are a little sick of us and they want a little, a little something extra in there. Let's have Arminder on. We like his content. He listens to the show. We get along really great. And it was a great time. We had so much fun until the voting results came in and we discovered we had lost to Arminder on our own show and our own fantasy rum draft. So, what else can we say but hats off again. Congratulations again to Arminder. And it's just an honor to be here now to get to do this, to announce these nominees in a category where I feel like Arminder was kind of twisting the knife a little bit in making us do this category, because it's one where you and I kind of, we don't always agree on what's the aesthetics for labels and bottles.
Yeah, I'm just happy that you didn't win this year. That's all I'm saying. And, yeah, you're right. We don't always agree on everything, and that's fine. That's what spices things up a little bit. But I think without any further ado, Will, let's read out the nominees. The nominees for Bottle Label Design of the Year are Alambique Serrano Cartier 30, La Maison and Vellier Flag Series Jamaica 2015, Holmes Key Infinity, Mater Purple Cane, and Shikara 12 Year. So, with those being the nominees, I guess it's time to announce a winner. Will, should we try this together?
Let's do it on the count of three.
All right.
1, 2, 3. And the winner is Mater Purple Cane. Wow. All right, John. What did you think of the nominees and the ultimate selection there?
I had some good ones and some maybe ones that I wouldn't have picked to be a nominee this year. I'm guessing you might be similar.
Yeah, honestly, I have no beefs with these. I think I have no major beefs. There's a lot of really great ones, and I love the winner. I'll say that. The only thing, I think Arminder, I think you got the wrong Alambique Serrano. I like the standard labels more than the Cartier 30. If we're just talking, labels and bottle design, I love those vibrant, colorful Alambique Serrano labels. But I will say, you and I both discussed when we did the episode with Mater how great of a job they did on their bottle and label design, especially for new brands. So, hats off to them. I think they're a deserving winner.
It's hard to stand out in this category, as you and I know, as we've been trying to pick bottles. So kudos to Mater, and really, really good stuff. And you know what? We'll see what this next year brings. With maybe we can agree on some things, Will.
Maybe we can. In the meantime, though, Arminder, explain yourself. Tell the people why you selected this rum as the winner.
Thank you, John and Will. And beating you guys in your own draft was definitely one of my own personal rum highlights of the year. Congratulations to Mater for winning this award. Honestly, as cliched as it may sound, this award could have gone to any of the nominees. Probably this category was the hardest category to pick a winner for me, but ultimately I went with Mater and Distillery Alma from Sicily for the Purple Cane varietal bottle here. I mean, look at this bottle, look at the silhouette. I was immediately grabbed by this shape, and I think it really just stands out on the shelf, and I don't know, it feels very European. Now, honestly, any one of the Mater rums could have taken this top spot, the yellow cane or the red blend, but ultimately I chose the purple cane because of this particular color combination of this kind of blue-green color and the purple. Together, it's a very cool kind of combination of colors. Not cool as in hip, though maybe, but more like just it has a coolness to it, right? In terms of like temperature. And you might not be able to pick it up on the camera, but the glass itself has a bit of a blue-green tint to it as well. And in combination, that label color combo and the color of the glass, it just felt very cool to me, very evocative. In fact, it kind of reminds me, not that I've actually ever been there, but reminds me or makes me feel like I'm sitting at an outdoor cafe overlooking the cool blue-green waters of the Mediterranean. And I could totally imagine the waiter serving like artisanal Sicilian spring water out of this. You know what I mean? And I think anytime a label and or bottle can transport you like that, I think that's something special. So congrats to Mater for this fantastic bottle and label. And a big thank you to John and Will for presenting. So much of what I've learned about rum is thanks to their podcast interviews with folks in the rum industry. I think they are such great interviewers and real stewards of the category. And I think they've done a tremendous job of creating a more educated and informed rum consumer. And frankly, I wouldn't be doing all this if it wasn't for them, so cheers and bravo to them. Also, they put out an end-of-year video already here on YouTube where they list all their favorite rums of 2024. I'm gonna link to it down below. Check it out after watching this video. Now, the next award is for unaged rums made from molasses. Now, we don't necessarily get a lot of them year in, year out, but this year we did, so we're recognizing some of my favorites. So our next presenter likes to talk rum, makes weird cocktails, and will even fix your cocktails for you. It's your favorite uncle and mine. Please welcome Uncle Pete from Uncle Pete's Cocktail Shop.
Howdy folks, it's me, Uncle Pete. Thanks to Arminder for having me. The rum highlight of the year for me was when I got a chance to go to Japan back in the spring, and I picked up a couple of weird and wonderful rums from Okinawa that I had never seen before. Now, if you're like me, and I think that you are, if you get a chance to pick up some rums from Okinawa, definitely do it. They are strange and interesting and make fun drinks and the savory, just you've never had anything like them before, so pick those up if you get a chance. Anyway, I'm here to present the nominees for Best Unaged Molasses Rum of the Year, and the nominees are Raising Glasses Pele's Fury, Rolling Fork Wisdom of Ages, Rum et al. Dunderclap, and Worthy Park Silver. And the winner is Raising Glasses Pele's Fury. Now, I've never had this rum, but if Arminder says it's good, then I'm sure it is. So let's send it back to Arminder in the studio.
Thank you so much, Pete, and congratulations to Raising Glasses for the Pele's Fury from Legalian Distillery. If you haven't had this, it's an absolute wild ride. The molasses goes through a long fermentation with the use of dunder, and it creates this really high ester rum. It's savory and briny at the same time. A lot of black olives, a lot of bandages, but there's also like a glimmer of fruit there as well. And every time I come back to this, there's like a new layer to it. And look, this isn't for everyone, that's for sure, but it's absolutely worth giving it a try at least once. And thanks again to Uncle Pete. He truly has the best nails in the game. Now, what I love about Uncle Pete's videos is that you feel like you're hanging out with him at his home bar, and he's making you all sorts of fun, offbeat, and interesting cocktails. And he really has this engrossing and like thoughtful demeanor and approach to what he does. He has tons of rum videos, both kind of where he samples rums, where he makes cocktails from them. And one of my rum highlights from this year was drinking an old-fashioned riff made with Hamden Pagos that he showcased on his channel, and it was fantastic, and I recommend you give it a try. Now, the next award is for one of my favorite categories, unaged cane juice rums, and our presenter for the category is possibly one of the most prolific spirits reviewers on YouTube. He covers just about everything from rum to Oaxacan fruit brandy to baijiu. Please welcome Scott from Different Spirits.
Hello, Rum Revival fam. I'm the guy you always see whenever you go looking for Claren reviews, and I'm not going to talk about my favorite rum of the year. In fact, it didn't even come out this year. This is Don Q. Signature release 2009. And importantly, this is the international edition. The US got this at 40%, which is a little bit insulting. Everyone else got a cast strength of 49.25. And there's no finishings, no sugar. So far as I can tell, they just took some old stocks and threw it in the bottle. And it's delightful. And I've never really seen another Puerto Rican rum like this. And so if you've been kind of following along, the American rum renaissance has been happening. Here is your proof that the old Puerto Rican houses can absolutely make world-class stuff when they put the effort into it. So more like this, please. And if you see a bottle, absolutely worth a grab. But we are here. We are here for the award for Best Cane Juice Rum Unaged. And your nominees are an absolute bomb from the Crassel family, the Alambic Serrano Cartier 30. From Distilleria Alma in Sicily, it's the Mater Rum Purple and Yellow Cane Blend. Palacañas Yamarada from Jalisco. And also from the sadly late Rummy Club Distillery in the Netherlands. They closed earlier this year. Raising Glasses Kyrie. And your winner, Russell's Reserve 15. No, I'm just kidding. It's the Cartier 30. Great stuff, well deserved. Back to Arminder.
Thank you so much, Scott, and congratulations to Alembique Serrano for their Cartier 30. This is made from the Java cane varietal out in Oaxaca. It's wild fermented and distilled by the Crassel family on their custom Crassel still and bottled at an easy breezy 70.3% ABV. Yes, this is a punchy and very flavorful rum, but it's surprisingly drinkable as well. It's grassy and vinegary and briny. There's some minerality. But underneath all of that, there's this little through line of fruitiness that really hooked me from the start. And with something with so many flavors and all those layers, it's also kind of kick back and chill. Like one of my drinking highlights this year was sitting in my backyard in triple digit weather and just slowly sipping this with a cold can of lager, or 2 or 3. It felt truly like paradise at the time, so I absolutely adore this rum. Congrats to Alembique Serrano. And a big thank you to Scott. I could sit and watch him all day work through what he's smelling and tasting in a rum or any other spirit for that matter. He really has this ability to pull out some really amazing and unique tasting notes. Stuff like Senegalese mint tea, like that's awesome. I've never had it, but he clearly has. Probably my favorite tasting note though is ancient hotel lobby coffee. Like I love notes like that. Like it's so evocative, and I really wish I had as keen of a palate as he does, as well as the ability to articulate those kind of notes as well as he does. So thank you, Scott, for doing what you do, and I promise I'll never make a video bad-mouthing Baijiu. Okay, we're moving on to aged rums, and we're starting with rums that have been aged 5 years or less. And your presenter, well, you know him as the person who will gladly fight in a no-holds-barred cage match against all the other spirits influencers to uphold the honor of rum. Please welcome your rum champion, it's Brian Inman.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Brian, and I am the Rum Champion. Beyond excited to be participating in the end-of-year awards ceremony for the Rum Revival. Very good friend of mine. I am a huge fan of his. And in short, I drink rum and hang out for a living and am hell-bent, like Arminder, on getting people to realize that rum is the world's most diverse and delicious, while also the most underappreciated spirit on earth. Rather than tell you about a rum or a couple rums that I've really liked, honestly, I've had quite a few this year, I'd much rather tell you about a cocktail that is absolutely amazing and will blow your socks off. As we all know, Arminder really likes rum fire. And so if you do 1.5 ounces of rum fire coupled with 1.5 ounces of Montenegro Amaro, Amaro very quickly is a Italian digestif. And these two combined with a big rock in an old-fashioned glass, you stir it till it chills, express an orange peel in there, and you can thank me later because this is a dynamic duo that is absolutely lights out. Here is the moment we've all been waiting for. The nominees for Best Aged Rum Under 5 Years. Alembique Serrano Blend Number 5, El Boxeador. Alembique Serrano Blend Number 6, Otono. Down Island Spirits Ghana 2020. Hampton Great House 2024. Hampton Pagos and Raising Glasses Ethereal. And if we can get a drum roll going in post-production, Arminder, the winner, chicken dinner, best aged rum 5 years or less is Alembique Serrano Blend Number 5, El Boxeador. Congratulations. Huge fan of all the great things that Alembique Serrano is doing, and well done. Well done. So with that, thank you all so much. We'll see you in 2025.
Thanks so much, Brian. Seriously, that cocktail is absolutely fire. And congratulations to Alembique Serrano for blend number 5, El Boxeador. Now, this is a store pick for Prize Fighter Bottle Shop and Bar in Emeryville, California. It's an equal parts blend of 2 casks of aged Oaxacan cane juice rum, a pot still rum aged 9 months in New French Oak, and a Crassel calm still rum aged 27 months in a first fill ex-bourbon cask. Now, at the core of this rum is this really lovely green vegetal, almost like bell pepper note that's covered in a little bit of caramel. And then surrounding all that is like a ginger molasses cookie note. There's a little bit of nuttiness as well, some black pepper, and lots of lovely anise and nutmeg and cardamom. And there's a surprising richness to this rum that really stands out, but which is also balanced by those spiced and green notes. Honestly, anything with cardamom and nutmeg I'm already gonna love, but then you add this really lovely oily mouthfeel and now we're talking. And a big thanks to Brian for presenting. Brian does such a great job of advocating and championing the cause of rum. Like, I have seen him a couple times now at live events, including his Rum Curious events, and he's the perfect showman. He's incredibly engaging, and he's really able to communicate the world of rum in an easy to understand manner. Like, I have seen light bulbs go off in people's minds when he's walking them through like a rum tasting, and that is not easy to do. Now let's move on to rums aged over 5 years, and your presenter, well, he's just fine. It's Derek from Make and Drink.
Thanks, Arminder. Excited to be here with the Rum Revival community. Can you call it a community if it's 15 people? Oh, you can. Okay. This was an interesting and exciting year for rum. We saw new releases, rebranding, bottle updates, price increases, and so much more. For me, there are just too many amazing moments to share.
You can, but if you're smart, you'll cut this out of the video.
Now, Derek has never had rum balls before. Now, these don't look like balls, but I promise you at one point they were balls. Preppy Kitchen, if you don't follow him, don't know who he really is, but that's cool.
I have to cut all of this.
No, you don't. You might see me peep around. That was awesome, man.
I'm just making this up. I'm just reading the teleprompter.
And I'm honored today to announce the winner of the category for aged rum over 5 years. And the nominees this year are El Dorado High Ester, Down Island Spirits Jamaica HD 2014, Foursquare Equipoise, another big word from Foursquare. They're running out of big words. Shakara 12-year, and the Raisin Glasses Jablisi 21-year Trinidad. I could only find one dude on the internet who even attempted to say this. He couldn't even say it.
Jabalese or Jabalisi, whatever it is.
And this year's winner is, oh my God, it's the El Dorado High Ester Blend. Wow, I didn't see that coming. I had no idea. Out of all those rums, this one's definitely my favorite. I mean, it's the only one that I've had, but it is delicious. All right, back to you, Arminder.
Thank you, Derek, and congrats to El Dorado for their High Ester blend. If you're not familiar with this is from Demerara Distillers in Guyana. It's a blend of 2 of their marks, their LBI and DHE mark. It's around 11 to 12 years old, and it's bottled at 57% ABV. This has notes of burnt caramels, dark chocolates, a touch of smoke, a little bit of cream. In a way, it has a lot of the notes that you get in El Dorado 15, which is a rum that I've always liked, but wish that it was higher in ABV. Now, if this was just all that, then it would be fine, but it's also accented by this salty, mineral, slightly industrial acidic note, and it's the presence of that note that really elevates this rum for me. To me, this is kind of comforting and delectable, which is not a word I use all that often, but it's a fun sounding word. You should use it. But look, this isn't reinventing the wheel or anything like that, but it's giving me everything that I want and love out of El Dorado, but heightened and at a slightly different angle, you know? Ultimately, I think how I would describe it is that this is a rum that maybe gets me more here than it does get me here, if that makes sense. Oh, and one other thing, it makes for a phenomenal Mai Tai. Okay, I'm done with this category. We can move on. What? I have to say something nice about Derek? Oof, I don't know, man. Let's see. He's a pretty cool dude, I guess. Now, in all seriousness, one of my rum highlights this year has been really getting to know Derek and making videos with him for my channel and his. And as you saw in those clips, I think we get along pretty well, though I'm not sure if he's really a big fan of my dancing. Now, the crazy thing is, we only live like 15 minutes away from each other, and like, what are the odds of that, right? Of finding someone sort of in the same space as you in such close proximity. And obviously he's a very talented filmmaker, but the thing that always blows me away is his attention to detail and the level of research that he does. Like, he clearly goes the extra mile, and he's a good dude, but don't tell him I said that. Now, before we give away the next award, you can't really have an award ceremony without an in memoriam section, so cue the music. Now, this year, we had a couple of losses in the rum world that we should acknowledge. Sadly, we lost Steve the barman. No, he's not dead, but he's changed the focus of his YouTube channel from rum to all spirits. He's left the rum fold and flown off to join the ranks of all the other cocktail creators on YouTube. We'll miss you, Steve. Next up, the Rum Bar brand. At least here in the US, Worthy Park is no longer bringing in Rum Bar Gold, Silver, Overproof, and their rum cream. Instead, they've decided to focus their energies on the Worthy Park brand with the release of Worthy Park Select, Silver, Overproof, and the rum cream. Now, luckily for us, Rum Bar Silver and Worthy Park Silver are the same rums. And while I think the new Worthy Park Overproof is fantastic, I am sad to see the Rum Bar Overproof go, so hoard them while you can. Next up, the Plantation brand name. Now, regardless of whether you think they should or should not have changed their name, they sure as hell took their sweet time doing it, and Plan A is what they came up with? Yikes. And then on a personal note, my local go-to tiki bar, Kontiki in Oakland, just recently closed. Now at some point a bar becomes less about the drinks or the back bar or even the amazing burger. That stuff might bring you in a couple of times, but at the end of the day, the thing that keeps bringing you in is the vibes and the people. Now outside of the bars that I've worked at, Kontiki was the first and maybe the only bar that I truly felt at home and so welcomed. And that is 100% due to the amazing staff over there. They were so good at what they did and absolute sweethearts. So, rest in peace Kontiki, and also long live Kontiki. And lastly, and perhaps most importantly, my sincerest apologies to your bank account. If it makes you feel any better, I spent way too much money on rum this year as well. And to those that we lost, we'll never forget you. Well, I might forget the plantation brand name. I'm okay with that, but that's just me. Now the next award is for single cask rum release of the year. Now these are usually very limited and often a bit more pricier than other rum releases, but you sometimes get this very unique one-to-one experience from that single cask that can't really be replicated, so we're gonna honor that with this award. And to present the award, we've got a chemical engineer, an educator, a doctor, a distiller. Mind you, that is all one person, and perhaps most importantly, they are a YouTuber, a truly noble profession. Please welcome Robin from This Blog's Neat.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to present the award for Best Single Cask Rum of 2024 because let's face it, we all love single cask rums. They are so unique. Every variable from the type of wood to where those trees were grown to how the wood was seasoned, toasted, charred, to the barrel entry proof, to what previously went in that cask, to the aging climate, all impact the flavor profiles of the rum that's being aged in that cask. These factors not only influence the chemical compounds that are extracted from that cask, but also impact the transformative reactions that are happening inside the cask. It truly is a one-of-a-kind combination of both art and science. And speaking of science and variables, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that my rum-related highlight of the year has to be launching Rum et al. And releasing my first 2 batches of rum. Rum et al. Is all about experimentation and transparency with the goal of showcasing how the different variables of the rum making process impact the flavor profiles. And even though my first 2 rum releases, Baseline and Variable Dunderclap, are both unaged rums, I'm hopeful that future variable batches will highlight the variables in the rum aging process. Enough about me, let's get to the nominees. So the nominees for single cask rum are Down Island Spirits Ghana 2020, Down Island Spirits Jamaica HD 2014, Holmes Key Infinity, La Maison and Vellier Flag Series Fiji 2012, and Raising Glasses Giblaze Trinidad 21 year. And the winner is Down Island Spirits Jamaica HD 2014. Congratulations to Down Island Spirits for releasing this wonderful 10-year-old diamond age from Hampden Estate. Now, Arminder, I know you're not the biggest fan of the super, super high ester rums that come out of Jamaica, diamond age being one of those marks. So I'm interested to hear what you thought about this rum, what stood out to you, and why you chose it for Best Single Cask Rum of 2024.
Thank you, Robin, and your tiny little mic. Congrats to Down Island Spirits for Jamaica HD 2014. This is their Diamond H mark from Hampden Estate. It's aged 10 years, 4 in Jamaica, 6 in the UK. And like Robin said, higher ester Jamaicans aren't usually my jam. Like I think HLCF is as far as I go when it comes to Hampden, and I love that. But once you go beyond that, the acidic funkiness tends to be a bit too much for me. And even thinking about it kind of gives me heartburn. But there is just something about this version of Diamond Age that just really hooked me. Yes, it has that kick of acidity, but it's mingled with tons of overripe pineapple, and there's even a little bit of berries here as well. But the thing that really made me fall for this rum was the back end and the finish. Right before that wave of funky acidity can get too much, it's overtaken by this rich burnt caramel and cola note. And not only does it soften that strong funk, but it adds like a bit of a pivot on your palate to create this really lively and engaging experience. This is one of the fewer higher proof, higher ester Jamaican rums that I immediately want to dive right back in for another sip. Thanks again to Robin. I have learned so much about the process and science behind how rum and other spirits are made thanks to her videos. She has this amazing way of taking all this nerdy science stuff and making it feel approachable and engaging. There's an absolute effortlessness about what she does, and I wish I had that when it comes to explaining things. And if you want to learn about like dunder and esters, honestly, don't watch my videos. You should really be checking hers out. She breaks it down so well. Also, seriously, keep an eye out for her rums that she's making under the Rum It All brand. They're truly impressive. All right, so since we've talked about hard to get expensive single cask rums, I think it's only fair that we highlight and celebrate rums that are affordable and much more available. And by affordable, I mean like under $50, but maybe closer to 30 to 40. And by available, I mean that it's either like a year-round core release, or at least there are enough bottles to last maybe like 2 or 3 years. So to present the award for affordable and available rum of the year is someone who has always made it a point to champion affordable and available rums, unlike some people. Please welcome Steve the Barman.
Hey, I'm Minda and Rum Fam. Thanks for having me. Merry Crimbo. Now, before we go any further, I'd like to share my rum highlight of the year. And I'm going to go about new rum releases. Now, I could technically talk about 3 rums here, but 2 of them aren't actually available until deep into 2025. So the one I'm going to default to, and I think it would have pretty much won anyway, this is Stella. It's from Mr. Daiquiri Spirits, David Cordoba, global Bacardi brand ambassador, so he knows his way around a daiquiri. He's finally created a daiquiri rum. That's the rest of his family up there in the corner, the Forza and the Lovers. This is a 4 rum blend. Those that watch my channel know that I love unaged spirits. Wait for this. We've got unaged Jamaican in here. We've got unaged La Reunion. We've got unaged Swaziland, and then just a touch of aged Dominican Republic to round that all off. It is absolutely amazing, incredible, fantastic. I love it. And it is fast become my favorite daiquiri rum. It is absolutely incredible. Arminda has got me on to announce the winner of the available and affordable category. But before we go there, let's have a look at the nominees. We've got, this is quite amusing because actually out of 5 of them, only 1 of them is available here in the UK. But we've got Hamilton at Breezeway Blend. We've got Rum JM, Episcopal. We've got that one. Rolling Fork, Heart of Gold. Never heard of that. Shikara 12, never heard of that. And then we've got Worthy Park Overproof. And Worthy Park, we still get Rum Bar here in the UK. Rum Bar Overproof. I think they've shipped in loads of this, so we haven't got round to the Worthy Park Overproof yet. And yes, they are different rums because the Worthy Park has got cane juice in it, whereas the Rum Bar hasn't. So the winner of the available and affordable category, Arminda has picked Worthy Park Overproof. Congratulations, Zan. I have tasted the rum. We have had some here in the UK at various rum shows, but it's just not on general release here yet. So I cannot wait to get a proper bottle of that. Congratulations, Zan. Congratulations, Worthy Park. Back to Arminda.
Thank you so much, Steve, and congrats to Worthy Park for their Overproof. This is an unaged overproof Jamaican rum made with both molasses and cane juice. It's expressive and flavorful and really has tons of that classic Worthy Park banana puree note, but there's also like a touch of brine and a little bit of grassiness that really adds some dimension to it. And everything that I've thrown this in has been delicious. Daiquiris, nuclear daiquiris, Almost Famouses, rum firewalkers, Jasper's rum punches, and in all of them you get that unique Worthy Park banana note, but it never overpowers the drink. Like there's no really aggressive industrial notes here. You're just getting a balanced and flavorful cocktail, and you're getting all of that for like $30 to $35. So yeah, congrats to Worthy Park for making one hell of a rum. Thinking it through now, this, because it's made from both molasses and cane juice, it couldn't fit into the unaged cane juice category or the unaged molasses category. But if I'm being honest, if it was just one unaged category that covered all of it, I think this would be the winner. So you know what, bonus 12th category here. The winner of Unaged Rum of the Year, Worthy Park Overproof. And a big thank you to Steve. You're absolutely my favorite Steve on YouTube that makes cocktails and has a funny accent. Unless of course the other Steve is watching, then in that case, oh hey Steve, you're my favorite guy named Steve making cocktails on YouTube with a funny accent. Now all kidding aside, Steve the barman is an absolute class act. 2 years ago, I went to London for the Rum show, and right as I walked in, he greeted me with such kindness and warmth. Like he treated me like we had been friends for years, but I think he had only just seen a video of mine for the very first time. And at that point, I had only been making videos on YouTube for like a handful of months, but he made me feel like I was one of his peers. And I'll never forget that. Like it really gave me a lot of drive to continue to make videos. So thank you, Steve, truly and sincerely. And definitely check out his channel if you don't already. Tons of easy to make cocktails, rum or otherwise. And then he has this huge back catalog of deep dives into the world of rum, and there is so much you can learn from those videos. Next up is the award for Bottler of the Year. This is to recognize and honor an independent bottler that I just thought had a fantastic year with a variety of quality releases. And the presenter for Bottler of the Year is a singer, a guitarist, a photographer, a great steward for Tiki and the Tiki subculture, and someone who really likes corks. Please welcome Spike from Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour.
Aloha friends, I'm Spike from Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour. It has been a great year for rum, hasn't it? I got to taste the Appleton 17 year, the Legacy rum. Ed Hamilton and I created this rum right here, the Breezeway blend, which actually reminds me of a story. So every year, fans of the show have an opportunity to go with me on a cruise to a rum place. This year we went to Jamaica and I brought Ed Hamilton with us. It was a lot of fun. We had the intention of going to Worthy Park so we could see where the Breezeway blend and all of his great products are like produced, distilled, turned into delicious Hamilton rum. But the dock was destroyed in some storm. So we couldn't do that. So instead we went to Hampton Estates. So there's like 50 of us standing around this tour guide, and finally he goes, does anybody have any questions? And I look over and I see Ed Hamilton raise his hand and I go, oh no. And it was like Ed asking him the most specific, in-depth rum questions. The tour guide was really good at answering his questions, like very knowledgeable. But a couple of the questions, Ed really had specific things to ask. And the guy's like, you're not just like some dude, are you? And Ed's like, well, I have this thing. And the guy goes, oh, wait a minute, you're Ed Hamilton? And meanwhile, I'm like, the hell's going on here? They got super excited because years ago, Ed Hamilton had presented Hampton Estates with one of his Ministry of Rum Awards. And so they were all excited. Like he was having a good time. It was like a great rum memory from this year. But we're not here to talk about Ed Hamilton. We're here to give out an award for the Bottler of the Year. And so the nominees for Bottler of the Year are Holmes K, Raising Glasses, Down Island Spirits, La Maison and Vellier, Roaming Road, and Rolling Fork. And the winner is, oh, this is just like some junk mail. The winner is Raising Glasses. So congratulations to Raising Glasses. I do want to thank Arminder for having me part of this. He's such a great ambassador for rum. I've watched the show a bunch. I really enjoy it. He knows way more about rum than I will ever know, but I do know a lot about Tiki. So if you're interested in Tiki bar reviews, home Tiki bar tours, or want to watch and learn how to make some mid-century Tiki cocktails, I will see you on Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour. All right, aloha, and thanks Arminder. Back to you.
Thank you, Spike, and congrats to Raising Glasses. This year, they have put out such an impressive lineup of varied releases. By my account, it was at least 12 releases, and the variety was mind-blowing. From an unaged rum made from Vietnamese cane juice that was distilled in Amsterdam, to a 3-year-old blend of Madeira rums, to a very hot and buzzy 21-year-old Trinidad single cask release. Everything that I had from them was so well made, and some of the releases just really wowed me. And on top of all that, because of the smaller sizes of their bottles, these were all relatively affordable releases. Now, I'm not sure how they're gonna top this year, but I'm very excited to see what they do in 2025. Congrats to John and Lori over there at Raising Glasses for one hell of a year. And once again, a big thank you to Spike. I've been watching Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour since like the early days of the pandemic, and like a lot of us, I was drinking a lot of tiki drinks at the time. So here was someone making them on YouTube and giving you all the background on the drinks and then serving them in the glassware that they were historically served in. I was instantly hooked, right? And it's always a blast watching Spike hang out with the guest in the Breezeway. I think he does such a great job of putting on a great entertaining show, and watching it, you're never feeling like you're an outsider looking in, but you're someone who's been invited in to hang out in this cool and hip party. So thank you so much, Spike, for letting me and all of us hang out with you in the Breezeway. Now the next award is for the Producer of the Year. This is to honor a distillery and producer that I think has done an outstanding job of creating some of the best high quality and varied rum releases this year. Now to present the award is someone that I have been a tremendous fan of for like forever. Seriously, I think they are incredibly talented and funny and charismatic and kind and just a sweetheart. So please welcome me. Obviously, I'm just kidding. I'm only like half of those things, but I'll let you decide which ones those are. All right, so the nominees for Producer of the Year are Alembique Serrano, Hamden Estate, Rum Jam, and Worthy Park. And the winner is Alembique Serrano. Congrats to Jason Cox and the Crassel family. What a year they've had, right? They've released 4 different blends, all of which I either really liked or absolutely loved. And between the use of the different cask types that they have, their pot and column distillates, Jason is able to create such varied blends. And then on top of the blends, they've released something like, I don't know, 1,000 different single cask releases this year. Now, maybe I'm exaggerating with that number a little bit, but they have put out tons and tons of single casks for various bars and retailers throughout the country. And real talk, a big part of my collector brain really wants to get my hands on each and every single one of those releases. And then on top of that, of course, they released a big, bold, unaged cane juice rum in their Cartier 30. And as you know, I absolutely adore that rum. Now, I was already digging what they were doing last year when they first debuted, but now I am a full-on Alembique Serrano fanboy. Congratulations again, Alembique Serrano. Okay, so let's move on to the big one, the award for Rum of the Year, my favorite rum of 2024. And look, all the nominees here are rums that just wowed me, right? And they all really stayed with me after trying them. They've all just been rums that as I've tried them throughout the year, my appreciation for them has only increased. Now, some of them are doing a little bit more radical things. Others are maybe a little more comforting and familiar. And I personally think that any one of these nominees could have easily been my favorite, but obviously I had to pick one, so that's what I did. Now the nominees are Alembique Serrano, blend number 5, El Boxeador, Alembique Serrano Cartier 30, El Dorado High Ester Blend, Down Island Spirits, Jamaica HD 2014, and Worthy Park Overproof. My rum of the year is Alembique Serrano, blend number 5, El Boxeador. What can I say? I absolutely love and adore this rum. From the moment I tried it, it skyrocketed to the top of my list and never really came down. It has this really great heavy mouthfeel, lots of great baking spices like nutmeg and cardamom, a bit of that ginger molasses, and the core of it is this caramel covered bell pepper that I adore. A flavor profile like this is just perfect for the fall and winter, but the thing is, I first bought this in the summer and I was obsessed with it even then. It's comforting and layered with all those aromatic spices, but it still retains the heart of a wild fermented cane juice rum. I haven't even tried this yet in cocktails, but I imagine it's fantastic like in a rum old fashioned. And I really do hope that you get a chance to try this rum. I understand it is obviously a little difficult given that it is exclusive to just one retailer, Price Fighter Bottle Shop and Bar in Emeryville here in the Bay, but they do ship within California if you happen to live here. Otherwise, I think you're just gonna have to come and visit. And here's the thing though, Derek from Make and Drink, he will totally buy you a drink while you're out here. What a really nice guy. So congrats and shout out to Alembique Serrano and Prize Fighter for this fantastic rum. Now that was my favorite rum of the year, but we're not done. We've got one final award because honestly, who cares what I think? I think it's much more interesting to know what all of your favorite rums of the year were. So a couple of weeks back, I started an online poll where you could vote for your favorite rum of 2024. And thank you to everyone who took the time to vote. And since this is the People's Choice Award, when I put this together, I thought it would only be fair to have one of you viewers actually doing the presenting. And I immediately thought of the perfect person for the job. Someone who has been such a great supporter of my channel, who always leaves thoughtful comments, often about the importance of building and being a part of a rum community. And that always stayed with me. And since this is an award from the community to present the top 7 most voted on rums and the winner of the People's Choice Award, he goes by Cocktails and Characters on Instagram, where he's always working on sharing great cocktails made with great spirits please welcome Kawan Williams.
Thanks, Arminder. My name is Kawan from Cocktails and Characters. I create cocktails based on characters, music, whatever suits my fancy. But I'm here in New York City today to announce to you the 2024 People's Choice for Rum of the Year. What better place than New York City to announce the winner for an award like this? So, without further ado, let's get to the nominees. We have El Dorado High Ester Blend, Foursquare Equipoise, a rum that I've tasted and is very delicious. Hamilton Breezeway Blend, Hamden Pagos, La Maison Villaire Flag Series Cambodia 2016, Plantaray Cut and Dry, Worthy Park Overproof. So, the Rum of the Year, People's Choice 2024 is... The suspense is killing. El Dorado High Ester Blend. Congratulations to the distillers and producers at El Dorado. Your prestigious win today will spur other rum producers to create high ester rums and delicious blends as you have done this year.
Thank you so much, Kwan. Really appreciate it. And the people have spoken. And congrats to El Dorado for the High Ester Blend. Now, obviously, this is a rum that I've been a big fan of as well this year. And I really hope the overall response to this release gets Demerara distillers to put out more interesting and flavorful and higher proof offerings. I mean, hell, we don't even have to complicate it, just give us a higher proof version of El Dorado 15 and we'll be happy campers. And once again, thank you so much, Kwan. I'm gonna link down below to his Instagram page where this month he did a whole set of cocktails inspired by the 12 Days of Christmas that are totally worth checking out. All right, so there you go. Those were the winners of this year's Rum Revival Awards. Congrats to all the nominees and all the winners. And a very big thank you to each of the presenters. Thank you, John and Will, Pete, Scott, Brian, Derek, Robin, Steve, Spike, and Kwan. It still blows my mind that they agreed to be a part of this and that they took time out of their busy schedules, especially around the holidays, to film their bit. I really, really do appreciate it. Now, I'm gonna link down below to all of their channels. Please do give them a watch and a follow. I'm also gonna include the links to a bunch of other YouTube creators in the rum space that I think you should check out. And I'm also gonna link to a bunch of other year-end best of 2024 videos and blog posts so you can see what rums other people really love this year. All right, that is the video, though there is one other thing. Just give me a second here. That's a clip-on, deal with it. Here's the thing, right? Putting together this video and really all the videos this year, there were a lot of work and they take up a lot of time. And if I'm being completely honest, I'm kind of really tired. And frankly, looking back at the videos that I put out this year, I'm probably only proud of like a third of them. So I'm taking a bit of a break to rest and to retool, to figure out what the Rum Revival should look like in the future. And if there's even a future for it at all, because if I'm being honest, by taking a break like this, there's a decent chance I might not come back because, real talk, I know me and I know that once I start chilling on my couch watching TV for a couple of weeks, I might get a little too comfortable. And then it might be a little tough to get up off that couch to make more videos. Like it took me 40 plus years to build up enough momentum to make videos in the first place. So yeah, I'm just putting that out there. Now, either you'll see me like a month from now or never again. Or I guess maybe sometime between a month and never, I guess. Who's to say? We'll see, but just in case it's like never, I'd hate to have not said goodbye to all of you and to thank you for letting me be a part of your rum community. So, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for watching and liking and commenting and subscribing and sharing all of it. It really blows my mind that people have any interest in listening to anything my goofy ass has to say. So yeah. So thank you and goodbye. Goodbye for now or goodbye forever. We'll see. Love you and cheers.